Hello, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. It is my pleasure to invite you to this Living from the Inside Out Mastermind Experience, a retreat that I'm hosting in November 2019 on the beautiful Mediterranean island of Mallorca, where I live and where I'm right now. So, the idea of this mastermind that I'm co hosting with a good friend of mine, with Brett Strachan, who cannot be here today, but you'll meet him soon. The discussions about the ideas about that started quite a while ago when Brad and I were talking, and we were talking about all the changes that are going on in society overall, in our lives, with technology, and how that can sometimes feel overwhelming, and there's so much change happening that we don't have control over, and it can feel like we don't have the power to influence any of that. So we started talking about, how do you deal with all of this change, and how do you shape and take responsibility for the future that you want to create. And we realized again, the old wisdom, of course, it all starts with yourself. So we started to discuss more of our experiences and how we're dealing with the resistances that came up. And we realized it would be really wonderful to host a mastermind where we inspire and empower people to become leaders. And what I mean by leader is being a person who shapes what is going on the outside by starting to reflect and work on the inside. Because if you want to change anything out the outside, you always have to start with the inside. And we also wanted to let people know that they have the power and the responsibility to change and make the changes and be the changes they want to see in the outside world. And it starts with yourself, it goes to your family, your community, and eventually to society. So if everybody does that work, eventually we can make really big shifts in the world and in society. But it starts with yourself. So that is the whole idea of gathering like-minded people, gathering people who are really ready to take the next step in creating the future and creating their lives, creating their realities, and really become clear on where they are and where they want to go. I work as a life coach, and I often realize that people are actually not very clear on where they are, or they're not really that honest. It's kind of scary to be really clear and be really honest about where you are. And also when you ask people, what do you want? What do you dream of? What are you about? What does your soul want? What is your nature? What are your gifts? People oftentimes don't actually really have an answer to that question. Or when you ask them, what do you dream about? They also don't really know. So I also realized I think it's very important to have that clarity of knowing where you are, being really honest about where you are, having an honest look at your life, at your limitations, at your blockages, at your patterns, and then from there start to change and transform and do this from the inside out. Because I realized also from my own life, oftentimes we live from the outside in. We live by the expectations and the programs and the definition of success by others. And I think we rarely stop to take a moment and say, what does success really mean to me? What does a successful life look like? What are my values? What are my needs? Is my life and my work and my relationship, my business, the way I spend my time and my energy and my focus, is that really in line with what I really want? And oftentimes there is a gap. And I feel like a lot of pressure and a lot of pain and a lot of sadness and depression comes from feeling that gap or feeling the tension of what we, on some level, feel to be true for ourselves about who we are and what we want to do in life and what we're actually doing. So this mastermind experience is really a moment to take a time out and have a bit of a transformational experience in a beautiful setting. We are in a whimsical old mansion, traditional Mallorquin mansion in a beautiful little village. So we are surrounded by beautiful nature. We are in an oasis where we can really create an energy for the group and have that time to really take a time out. And the retreat, the word retreat comes from taking a step back and taking some time to really think about where we want to go with our lives. And do that with a group of like-minded people. And I think that's really something magical that can happen in such a setting and such an environment. And I think both Brad and I, we also value, the art of listening, like really being present and listening deeply to others. Listen to others as passionately as you want to be listened to. I think we also both value meditation and just allowing space and time and creating a safe space and creating the time for the insights to come in and the insights to register and really to hear what your soul wants to say and what your soul wants to do and what your life really wants to be about. So this whole idea of letting your life speak is also the idea of listening what your life has to say. And I truly believe that life leaves you clues about what it wants to be about. But oftentimes we just go in and we have an idea of what it should be and we just go after it. And I think it naturally comes the time when we realize that that is probably not in line. So anyhow, so it's November 21 to 25. You find all the information below. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And you not just sign up. I look forward to having you here and welcoming you on my beautiful island. We have early bird special that's valid until the end of July. So don't think about it twice, just do it. Sign up now. Thanks. See you there soon. Bye.